Alright, boys and girls, what I have here is a Zenith Royal 2000 AM/FM portable radio. And this is one of my favorite radios. I absolutely love this radio. This was supposedly the world's first portable AM/FM transistor radio. It's very, I don't want to say it's very large, but it's large and, compared to what they make now, obviously. But it's built very well, and it's got the early germanium transistors, and this has push-pull audio that I would say that would rival a good low-power audio amplifier. This thing sounds really good. Well, I got one downstairs right now, and I'm working on. I just kind of thought I'd show you a little trick as to what I'm doing with that. So let's head for the lair. Okay, here's another Royal 2000. It's on the workbench right now. Same radio that you just saw in the picture. Okay. And basically the story behind this radio is a little bit, well, it's not odd for me, but it's probably odd to everybody else. I bought two of these at Kutztown from guys that shared a table. And each one of these guys had a Royal 2000. And they were kind of, well, let's just say they've had some years on them, and some times they've been used. And I bought the two of them with the notion that, because I looked at the two of them, and some had some really bad things, from the aesthetic value from one, and the other one had, other aesthetic issues. So it's one of those things where you take two ugly radios to make a nice radio. So this chassis has already been recapped and gone through. Controls have been cleaned. Everything's been cleaned and detailed and everything else. So now I'm getting ready to put this back together. So here's where this story really starts. If you look over here, there's a strip, and you see that narrow passageway? There's actually two holes there to put screws. And then on the other side, you get the light over here, see it a little bit better. Basically you have the same dilemma. Well, it's not a dilemma, but it just becomes a dilemma because it's just so narrow of an area. How do you mount these things? So that's what this video is all about. I'm going to show you how to kind of overcome some of this. Now, I've already got a screw in there. Let me show you how I got it there. Well, ideally what you want to do is you want to have a magnetic screwdriver, and that'll allow you to take a screw. Like here's one of the mounting screws here. You put this on, and you can get it on there, but then falls off because either there's not enough magnetism in the shaft of the screwdriver. And I've seen this before with magnetic screwdrivers where they're not as magnetic as they could be, or the screw that you're working from, isn't metal, or it's made out of a metal that isn't magnetized. It could be an aluminum screw. I've seen that before. So, okay, so what do you do? Well, let me show you how to get around that. Okay, the screw I'm going to try to install next. I actually have the tripod literally on top of the radio because it's kind of hard to get a good camera angle at this. But I've got my pointer, and down here where my pointer is, there's a hole there. Okay, right here. And then there's a threaded hole underneath of that. And I'm going to put a screw in there. Now this is the screw that I was just showing you. Okay. And you put this on here, and it actually does not want to go on there very well. Here's one way there's just two ways we can get around this, okay? One way is to get these magnetic retrievers. These magnetic retrievers are really cool. I've got these in different sizes. Where's my other one? I've got another one here. What I mean by the different sizes is the physical size of the magnet. And that one right there is probably about, I'll say about 3/8 of an inch in diameter. I've got more out in my garage, and I use these for cars as well. If you drop a screw into an area you don't want to reach, this is a fairly narrow one. The end on that, I'd say, is maybe about 1/4 of an inch or so. What we could do is, to get the screw started, let's take that magnetic retrieval tool, put the screw on the end of it, and we'll just work it into the hole. And then what I do is I kind of try to give it a turn or two, like I'm doing here. Alright. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? What's the left-hand thread? Okay, now, that will work. I took the screw back out on purpose to show you another way you can do this. Now, I know that some of you might be out there saying, hey, look, you know, I know that Radiowild lives, he's got a Harbor Freight tool chest about a mile away from where he lives. But I can't, because nearest place I could go buy tools is 30, 40, 50 miles away. Okay, so here's another thing you can do. Go out to your car, truck, go out to your bedroom dresser, go out to your kitchen, wherever you got some chewing gum. Chew up some gum, take your same screw and screwdriver, then after chewing some gum for a little bit, and I've done this trick, I've been doing this trick for about 30 years, take the hole and literally just put a little dab in there, just a little bit of chewing gum. Then I'll allow you to take the screwdriver, and you see how that screw just stays right on there now? So that's the one way you could do if you don't have a magnet. And I haven't done this in a long time, but gum still works. So then you just take it, set it in the hole, and then you can start screwing that in place. Like so. And notice that the gum actually stuck to the end of the screwdriver and didn't stick to the hole. So, alright. So that's another little troubleshooting trick. Because basically I bought 2 radios to make one of them, and believe it or not, there were no screws in the top ones on either one of the radios. So they both had been apart at one time. And that's about all I have to say about that. So that's a little troubleshooting trick. So that's one way you can get into some tight areas with a screwdriver or whatever, and hopefully that'll help you out. All right. So anyway, take care. Bye.